Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Yin. Great to have you along this week. Let's head straight into the practice today. So we're going to start with 5 minutes of shamatha meditation. So finding your comfortable sitting position to meditate in. But sit up on a bolster to give yourself some height. So you could sit on a bolster and sit cross-legged in any way that feels comfortable for you. So you could have your legs a little bit further out from your body, or if it's comfortable, you can tilt your pelvis, make sure your sit bones are firmly grounded, and bring your legs closer in. You could also sit a bit lower on a cushion, or you could also sit back on your heels. And one last option is to put a couple of blocks in between your legs to rest your pelvis on. Okay, so settling into your comfortable seated position. It's making sure that your sit bones are firmly grounded into your bolster, your cushion. So then from the base of your body, lengthening up through your spine and rolling your shoulders back and down. So you're sitting nice and tall, but also there's a sense of relaxing down into the earth. You can rest your hands wherever it feels comfortable, palms up or down. And you might like to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And in shamatha meditation, the intention here is to quieten or calm our mind. And we do this by focusing on the breath. So noticing your breath. Noticing the inhalation and the exhalation. You might also notice your thoughts. We have a stream of consciousness, stream of mental thoughts, which goes on. This is what the mind does. So just being aware of your thoughts, and without getting caught up in them, guide yourself back to your breath. Noticing your breath in any way. That is your focus. If you're having a really busy period, you might notice that your mind quickly goes back to the thoughts. So it's this very gentle guiding back to the breath. We practice this over and over, coming back to the breath. So that the thoughts can just pass by and slowly start to sit in the background. The focus on your breath. And we're staying present with our breath. And being aware of when we go back into thinking. And gently guiding back to your breath. Taking 2 more breaths in your own time. And then opening your eyes, bringing yourself back to the room. And let's head straight into our first yin pose. So we're going to head into a reclined butterfly pose today. So for reclined butterfly, you'll need your bolster. And placing your bolster long up one end of your mat. And you might also like to use a square cushion at the end of your bolster. So there's 2 options here. You can either lie back on your bolster, sitting on your cushion, lying straight back from here. Or the second option is to give yourself a little bit of height underneath your bolster. So I'm using a couple of blocks here to create a support, a nice sturdy support at one end of my bolster. And lying back over your bolster. So you might like to try both options and see which you prefer. I'm going to stay with the blocks underneath the bolster. So you can leave your feet flat on the floor with your knees bent. Or bringing the soles of your feet together and taking your knees out to the side. This is the full reclined butterfly. We're starting to work through our inner thighs. Perhaps you're feeling a bit of an opening through your chest as well. Perhaps through the hips, or even into the knees. So finding that first edge, that place where you can feel something, where you naturally feel a little bit of resistance. And then once you find that first edge, the second principle of Yin Yoga is that we remain relatively still for up to 5 minutes. If you need to come out early, that's perfectly okay. You come out and rest on your back. And it's always important in the practice that we don't feel any pain. We're wanting to feel some resistance, like something is working. But pain or sharp stabbing sensations or too much sensation is a sign that you need to ease back or come out of the pose. So as we stay for up to 5 minutes, we're about halfway there at the moment. This allows us, our body's time for the fascia. Fascia is the connective tissue which runs right through our body. It surrounds our muscles, our organs. And this is primarily what we're working in Yin Yoga. It's the yin tissue of the body. And the muscles are the yang tissues. So these long held poses help the fascia to soften. We're noticing if your edge has shifted. You need to make any subtle adjustments. If you have the soles of your feet together, you could try bringing them closer into your body. See if that changes your experience. That may deepen the sensations through your inner thighs, possibly through your hips. Or you could take the soles of your feet out a little bit longer, away from your body. And that may lessen the sensation if you feel like you need to ease back. So there's lots of time and space to experiment with what feels right for you in each pose. So let's stay for 2 more deep breaths. And then when you're ready, bringing your knees together, placing your feet flat on the floor. And then we're going to come off the bolster. So you may like to roll to one side, come directly up to a sitting position. And sitting up on your cushion to feel the rebound. Before we remain still, let's take our feet out a little bit wider than our hips. Lean back on our hands, or you could also lean up against a wall if it's not comfortable to lean on your hands. And we'll do windshield wipers, dropping one knee at a time in towards the center. Ease out through your hips. And then when you're ready, taking your legs out long. You feel like you need to give your legs a little bit of a shake. And then taking a deep breath in through your nose and letting it out with an ah sound through your mouth. We're just pausing here to feel the rebound or the release of energy through the fascia. You might like to take one more deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth with an ah. It's this sense of release, this sense of letting go. And now releasing our hands. From here, staying sitting up on your cushion. And let's take our bolster underneath our legs. And from here, we're going to head into caterpillar pose, but first we're going to do a gentle leg massage. So taking your hands, starting at the tops of your thighs. I'm just doing the tops of our legs, maybe a little bit of the sides. And I'm using a kneading motion, but you may just like to do any kind of motion. So it might be a soft circular motion with your hands, It's really exploring what feels nice for you and slowly making your way down your legs to as far as you can reach. You may make it down to your ankles or your feet, but if you don't, that's perfectly fine. And then slowly coming back up and making the movement, hands feeling nice all the way up to your thighs, top of your thighs. And from here, let's head into caterpillar. So you can do caterpillar with a bolster underneath your legs. If you're working there, flexing forward through your spine, folding over your legs. See if that feels comfortable. If you feel like you need a little bit more, you can take the bolster away and work with your legs on the floor with your knees slightly bent, rounding forward through your spine. Or as a different option, if you have your legs closer to the ground, you could round over your bolster, bringing your bolster closer into your body. This allows for more flexion through your spine. Or you could take it further away. Rest your arms on your bolster. You could even place a brick on your bolster and rest your forehead down. And so using your breath here, you're using your breath to soften as you exhale. Making sure that you're not feeling any strain. So we don't want to be straining forward. We're flexing forward, keeping our shoulder blades rolling down our back. And relax through our arms. You can have your elbows a little bit bent. Noticing your edge, how your edge might be changing as the fascia softens. Notice if you need to go a little bit deeper. You need to make any subtle adjustments with your props or with your body to make it more comfortable. So you're really feeling into the experience of your body, the sensations in your body. Noticing where there's any tension. And seeing if you can send your breath to soften that tension as you exhale. Invite that sense of letting go. So we'll be here for about another minute. Just noticing if you need to come out early. And staying present with your breath, with the sensations in your body. Just like in the shamatha meditation at the beginning, just observing if you've gone into any judging or any other thoughts that are popping in from the day. Just witnessing what's going on, guiding yourself back to your body, your breath, your sensations. And taking one more deep breath. And then very, very slowly starting to roll up through your spine, coming up to a sitting position. You might like to stay vertical for a little bit. And when you're ready, releasing your bolster, giving your legs a gentle shake and leaning back on your hands now. Taking a deep breath in and sighing out through your mouth. Let's do one more deep breath in through your nose and then sighing out through your mouth and sending that energy down, right down through your legs to your feet, toes. And now releasing your hands, and let's come down onto our backs. So lying flat on our backs. And we're going to head into Sphinx pose, but before we do that, lying on your back, either with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, or you can have your legs out long like we do in Shavasana. And we're just going to do a gentle neck massage. So taking your fingers and taking them just to the base of your skull with both hands and making circular movements at the base of your skull. Right, feeling right into your neck. So making this soft with your hands. Noticing if you like the pressure a little bit lighter. Sometimes I like the pressure quite light. It seems to stimulate energy and feel quite nice. Or a little bit firmer. You also might like to, at the same time, just gently rock the back of your head. Just a very gentle movement against your mat. And also loosen through your jaw. You're still massaging. And notice if those movements change the experience or feel nice. And then coming back to the center, resting your arms down for a moment. And let's turn over onto our bellies for Sphinx pose. Coming onto your belly. And coming up onto your forearms. We're having your elbows roughly underneath your shoulders. And your forearms and the palms of your hands resting on the ground. The tops of your feet touching the floor. So we're working through our lumbar spine here. So notice how this feels for your lumbar spine. Also notice how it feels for your shoulders. Some students might like to angle their elbows out to the sides a little bit. You could try that and see how that feels, or if it feels better to be have your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. If it's feeling too much for your lumbar spine, use your bolster. Take a hold of your bolster and place your bolster underneath your chest. So this is less compression in the lumbar spine. You could also use a block to rest your forehead on. Resting your forehead might feel nice. It really allows the weight to drop. I recommend trying it in any pose that we do to see if it feels good for you. And if you feel like you can go a little bit deeper for the last minute or so here, you can place your elbows up on top of your bolster. This will give you more compression in your lumbar spine. You could also bend into your knees. Tuning into the sensations in your body. Noticing how your edge may have shifted, whether you need to readjust. And softening as you exhale. And using your breath to support your body to soften, to shift the energy. And to let go. And taking 2 more breaths in your own time. And then releasing out of Sphinx pose, releasing your bolster and lowering your belly, lowering your torso right down to the mat. You can take your arms out in front, bend into your elbows and rest your forehead on your hands if that feels comfortable. And taking a deep breath in through your nose and letting it out through your mouth with an ah sound. Doing 1 more of those. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Ah, feeling the whole weight of your body drop into the ground, into the earth. Just noticing the rebound, the resonance of what's just released. And from here, we're going to head into a new pose called Happy Baby Pose tonight. So coming over onto your back for Happy Baby. So I will give a few options for Happy Baby Pose. Bending into your knees, starting with your feet flat on the floor. And then bringing your knees in towards your chest and seeing if you can take a hold of your feet here. I'm keeping my knees bent. So some of you may have your feet in the center. I'm taking my knees out to the side. If you can, then bringing your ankles above your knees. Now, some of you may not be able to do this, and that's perfectly fine. I will give you another option. You can either hang on at your feet, hang on at your ankles, or hang on behind your thighs. So I have my knees bent and I'm bringing my ankles towards being in line with my knees. So you can hang on behind your thighs as though you are drawing your thighs towards the earth. So if you have your hands at your feet, you're drawing your feet down. So your legs, we're working through our hips here, drawing towards the earth. The important part is to keep your head flat on the floor. So you can hold behind your thighs, at your ankles, or at the soles of your feet. And so I'm really opening through my hips. So I do have my legs quite open here. You could also try, if it's feeling too much, to have both of your legs. You could try one at a time. So having the left leg bent, taking hold of the right foot, then drawing the leg down or holding behind the thigh. Or if that is all feeling too much for you, you could come up against a wall. And coming from side, turning side on, swiveling around to bring my buttocks up towards the wall, laying my back against the floor and placing my feet, the soles of my feet on the wall with my knees bent. So this is an easier option. If the other options don't feel right for you. So coming out, if you need to come out, we're just going to stay here in Happy Baby for another 3 breaths. Noticing where you can feel the sensations. When you've done your 3 breaths, releasing your hands and releasing your feet back down to the floor. Keeping your knees bent and taking your feet to the width of your mat. We'll do a windshield wipers lying down. Or if you feel like you need to do any other movement, feel free to take yourself there. So dropping one knee at a time in towards the center. And then let's take our legs out long for a mini Shavasana here. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. Just having a short rest. Feel the rebound. And from here, we will head into a spinal twist. Bringing your knees into your chest. And dropping your knees over towards the right side. You might like to shuffle your hips a little bit over towards the left. You also may like to use a bolster underneath your knees to rest your knees on, to support yourself in the pose. Taking your arms out at shoulder height. Or you could cactus your arms by bending into your elbows. You might also like to look over to the left side, if that feels okay for your neck. You can position your knees, can change the position of your knees. So you may like to bring them closer up towards your torso for a deeper twist, or further away. You can experiment with changing the position of your knees. See how that changes, how it feels through your back and through your hips. So that you find that Goldilocks position, a position that's just right for you. And now using your breath to soften. Breathing into any area of tension. And softening that area with your exhalation. And notice if the tension changes. Staying present with what you can feel. And allowing or inviting your body to soften. If you feel like you'd like to do a twisted roots, which is deepening the twist for the last minute and a half or so, and bring your knees back up Cross your right knee or right leg over your left. You may like to tuck your left foot under your right calf. Shifting your hips slightly to the left and dropping your knees over to the right side. Just making sure that you're keeping both shoulder blades on the mat. And staying present with your breath. Just noticing your experience of the twist. And taking 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, bringing your knees back to the center. You may like to hug your knees in towards your chest for a moment. Gently rock from side to side. Before releasing your legs and heading over to a twist on your left side, bringing your knees in towards your chest, dropping your knees over to the left, shuffling your hips a little bit to the right, taking your arms out to the sides at shoulder height, or cactusing your arms, bending into your elbows. You can use your bolster underneath your knees or some support. And finding that right position, that Goldilocks position for your knees, for your legs. Do you like to bring them closer up towards your torso or further away from your torso? So that you can feel something is working. And also look over to your right side if that's comfortable for your neck. And then tuning into your body. Allowing your body to soften as you exhale. And you're slowly inviting this sense of surrender. Which is where we're heading for the last 15 minutes of class. We're heading into deep surrender. Softening through your legs. Noticing any sensations in your legs. Using your breath. Using your breath to guide your softening. And deepening the twisting twisted roots for the last minute or so, if you're heading there. Bringing your knees back up, crossing your right knee over, right leg over your left, perhaps your right foot under your left calf, dropping your knees over to the left side. And changing the position of your knees if your edge has shifted. So you're aware of what you need to do right now, what your body needs. And staying present with your breath and with what you can feel. Taking 2 more breaths here in your own time. Then bringing your knees back up to the center. And you may like to hug your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your knees and gently rocking, massaging out your lower back, letting out a sigh. You may like to allow the back of your head to rock at the same time from side to side. And then taking your legs out long, so we're preparing for Shavasana. So make sure that you're warm enough. We're going to be here for about 8 minutes or so. No placing any socks or using a blanket over you or a jacket. You could lie with your legs out long, or you can also place a bolster underneath your knees. That can feel quite nice. Placed a bolster underneath, and I'm also taking my knees out a little bit wider. Or you could have your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Or you can lie or sit in any other way that feels comfortable for you. And I'm going to guide you in a body awareness practice now, or deep surrender. We're starting down at the soles of your feet. And softening through the soles of your feet. And through your toes and the tops of your feet. And your ankles. All softening. And then slowly shifting your awareness now through your lower legs. Softening through your shins, through your calves. So we're doing both sides at the same time. And then through your knees, bringing the back of your knees up into your thighs, front and back, softening, energy spreading, and grounding. Moving your awareness into your buttocks, into your lower back, and into your pelvic bowl, through your hips, to your belly, moving up through the front of your body, up into your rib cage, also the back of your body, shifting up, right up your back, moving all the way up to your shoulder blades at the top of your rib cage, collarbone, and into your shoulders, softening through your shoulders, making any subtle adjustments as we go along. And moving your awareness now down through your arms, upper arms, into your elbows, down your forearms, all the way down to your wrists, softening and relaxing, all the way down to your hands, through your hands, right down to your fingertips, soft and relaxed. And then shifting your awareness now up to your neck and your throat, so front and back. Right up into your jaw now, through your face, softening your tongue, the roof of your mouth, your cheeks, your nose, and your eyes, so your eyeballs softening back into the sockets, through your eyebrows, your temples, and your forehead. Now the top of your head, softening. And then the whole sides and back of your head, softening. And noticing now your whole body. Your whole body weighted, grounded, and possibly relaxed on the earth. And resting here in this state for a little bit longer. So while you're resting, you're still staying present with what you can feel. You're still going to lie here, just having a longer rest today. I really invite this sense of deep surrender. And enjoy this space of stillness. of just being. And now very slowly bringing some movement back into your body, just very slowly. Through your fingers, through your toes. I'd like to gently open your eyes. You might like to stretch your arms up above your torso, interlacing your fingers, or above your head, stretching out through your arms, pointing your toes, and releasing your arms. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto one side, just pausing here for a moment. And then using the support of your hands to come up into a comfortable sitting position. And bringing your hands into prayer at your heart center. Bowing your head towards your heart. And honoring yourself for taking the time to explore and give yourself the nourishing practice of Yin Yoga. And to explore letting go. You might like to also honor others who are sharing the practice this week. You also might like to honor our earth. Honoring our earth for giving us ground for our experience of life. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Namaste. Thank you, everyone who enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, if you're not sure about something that we did today, if Happy Baby presented some challenges for you, please feel free to contact me for a chat. Otherwise, I wish you a safe and happy Easter. And we are on for class till next Tuesday after Easter. Love to see you then. Have a wonderful week. Okay, bye for now.